This is David Spiegel for MSMCKnights.com, here with head men's lacrosse coach Eric Seideman. Coach, thank you for your time today.
No problem.
So last season, your team went 6-9 overall, 1-5 in the conference. You've said it was your toughest schedule that you've scheduled since you got here. You have a lot of guys returning from last year's team, so they face that schedule. What's your overall reaction to last year, and how does it prepare you going into this season?
Last year was a real transitional year for us. We had just graduated Nick Finley, who was our program's all-time leading scorer, had been all-conference, as well as Andrew Pullen, who is our program's all-time leading goal scorer. So those two guys had graduated, and we kind of were making a transition from that group to the next group. And I really wanted to challenge us, see if we could step up to that challenge and kind of raise our expectations. We added RPI, who was a perennial top 20 team, Haverford, which is a perennial top 50 team, and Centenary, who had won 15 games the year before, looking to play a tougher schedule and in turn kind of raise our level. So we definitely struggled with that schedule. Maybe it was a little bit ambitious. We did win one of those 3 games, but weren't as competitive as I would have liked in the other 2. So in a sense, it didn't make for a great start to last season, but when we hit conference play against Mount St. Vincent, it was pretty clear that preparation had prepared us to kind of take our game to that next level. Just the way that we ride and cleared and handled pressure out on the perimeter, we really looked like a team that had played some top quality competition, even though we didn't do as well against that competition as we would have liked.
Well, from last year's team, you bring back 24 guys, including among them you have one of your captains this year. He's senior Jake Robeson, had 48 points last year and 28 assists. He led the conference in assists per game, and he was second in points per game. He's on pace to set both assist and point records here at Mount St. Mary. What is having someone like him back do to anchor your team, and what about some of the rest of your returners as well?
Jake's obviously a fantastic player, as all the statistics and accolades that you quoted would indicate. But what really makes him extremely valuable to me, and the thing that I will very much miss next year when he graduates, and very much appreciate this year, is his knowledge of the game. He's really almost like an assistant coach out there, calling plays and making changes on the fly, directing traffic. He's a very good vocal leader, and it does a fantastic job of sort of communicating my requests and the things that I'm looking for onto the field. Since a lacrosse field is a big place, it's hard for me all the way on the sideline to have my voice heard. So he does a really good job of either taking the directions that I give him, or more often just knowing what I would want and getting the guys on the field to get on that same page with him. In terms of the other returners, we returned basically our whole offense. I think we only lost one player that played on our offense last year, and so guys like CJ Cardo, David Hobbs, they're both seniors who have started for us since they were freshmen. Were amongst our leading scorers last year. CJ is one of our best shooters and a great athlete, good dodger. He really kind of does it all out there. David Hobbs is a workhorse. He's really good on defense, face-off wings, clearing the ball. He's a good dodger. He's working on improving his shooting. Has worked really hard on that. So I think he'll put up some more goals this year than he has in the past. But he's kind of one of the guys that maybe doesn't get a lot of credit on the stats because he's doing the first dodge and then moving the ball, but if it were hockey, he'd have a whole bunch of assists. Unfortunately, in lacrosse, they only give assists to one person, but he's kind of always one pass away from getting an assist.
So tell me about some of your returners on defense.
Defensively, we returned the majority of our group from last year, starting with sophomore Brendan Farrell. Brendan, by the end of last year, had become our top on-ball defenseman, caused a ton of turnovers, and did a nice job of creating transition off the ground. We also returned 2 quality long stick middies in Nick Wise and Mike Capitola, who both backed up our top defensive player last year, Matt Bonacore, and learned from him. They've both done really well in sharing the position after his graduation.
To go in there with the returning players, you have a big class of freshmen. You have 15 guys this year. I know you're happy with this class. Who do you expect from this class to make a big impact this year, and who do you think will eventually carve out a role?
Our freshman class, from the day they stepped on campus, has done a fantastic job of really buying into the coaching staff and the upperclassmen's vision of where we want to go and what it's going to take to be successful. They are extremely hardworking in the weight room, on the field, and really just have meant so much to our program in the 6 months that they've been a part of things. To a man, they are all competing for playing time, and all or many of them will see the field. Some a lot, some a little, most probably somewhere in between. A few that have definitely stood out. Dylan DeMeo, who's a middie for us. Dylan was a 3-sport all-county athlete from Long Island: football, basketball, and lacrosse. He's going to be probably one of our better middies this year. He's kind of in the shifty catalyst role. He really can unsettle the defense, beat his man, move the ball. He's also a good shooter and a great feeder. So he's going to play a big role. Also at the midfield, Danny Kugler. He's one of the best athletes on our team. Incredible acceleration, and he shoots the ball close to 100 miles an hour. So his game isn't quite as refined as Dylan's or some of our older players, but he brings a raw athleticism and a great shot, outside shot. On attack, Tristan Earl is a great ball handler, and I see him as a future quarterback for us. He really does a nice job of seeing the field and has a good understanding of the game. He also is exceptionally hardworking at studying lacrosse film and going over things on the chalkboard with the coaching staff. So he's somebody who I see taking over for Jake in the future as that quarterback of the offense. And then on the defensive side, we've got a couple guys who have been very competitive. First one is Nick Pafoli. Nick is a very solid, smart defenseman. In the goal, we've got 2 freshmen that are both competing for the starting position. Christopher Dorr, who is really has great stick skills and really is fantastic at clearing the ball, and Stephen Toby, who is really good at saving the ball. If I could put the 2 of them together, I think we'd have something really special. But we're working hard with the 2 of them to improve the other half of their game, and they're competing daily for the starting goalie position, along with our returner from last year, Connor Horan, who has been a 2-year starter for us and really was much improved from his sophomore year 2 years ago to his junior year last year. Connor had suffered from some injuries this fall, so he's kind of just getting back on the field this spring, but he did very well in our both of our scrimmages, and we kind of have a 3-way dogfight for the starting goalie position.
So what are your expectations for this season, and what are some goals you've set for the team?
I don't like to use the word expectations. Our one of our team mottos is earn it. We've been approaching everything this year. We've got a lot of goals, a lot of dreams, as many teams do, but we've really been focusing on what it's going to take to achieve those. If we want to do anything, we have to earn it. So, hopes. I hope that we improve every day. I hope that we are more competitive within the Skyline Conference and against our out-of-conference schedule. I think that we will be disappointed if we don't make the Skyline Conference tournament. But overall, my number one goal is for this program on a daily basis to get better and to compete and to see how great we can be.
Great. Well, Knights men's lacrosse team starts the season Wednesday evening at Kaplan Field, 4 o'clock against Mitchell College. Coach, thank you for your time and best of luck this season.
Thank you.